Hello and welcome to history class. My name is Jennifer Haynes and I am your history professor this semester. There are three types of historians. There are world historians, Americanists that study just America, supposed to be North and South, but usually they concentrate on the North. And then there are Europeanists that concentrate on European history. I am a world historian, so that's why I have the world logos and some different places that I've been fortunate enough to visit. I'm thrilled to have you in my history class this semester. I wanted to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about my background. I was born in Los Angeles, California, and moved to Cincinnati, Ohio when I was 5 years old. Here's a picture of my parents. My dad was born in East LA and he grew up in the projects. He put himself through community college while he worked a full-time factory job as a glass blower in a glass factory. Community college was very important to my family just because my father invested working 40 hours a week in a glass factory and going to school at night so he could have a better life for his children and for himself. And he got a wonderful career in computers. And that really changed the trajectory of my life for sure. My mom was born in West Virginia in a rural setting. In order to get to her house, you had to drive through two creeks that were full of water. She did go to college for a semester, but just decided that she wanted to stay home and be a homemaker. Here's a picture of my family. We're in Canada. We're in Quebec visiting some friends. When I was 5, I'm the youngest of 4 siblings. We had just also on this trip, I think we drove across country from Cincinnati. My brother has a Liberty Bell t-shirt. He looks kind of goofy. And we had just visited the Liberty Bell, and that's one of my favorite memories. Well, now it's one of my favorite memories. Because as we were standing in front of the bell, there's a crack in the bell, if you didn't know, and my brothers were telling me they were going to tell on me because they were going to tell my parents that I was the one who broke it. And so at 5 years old, I was very upset and cried because I did not break the Liberty Bell. Brothers. Some activities I enjoy. When we moved to Ohio, my parents bought a small farm. It was 10 acres, and we just had like chickens and goats, dogs, cats, ducks. We had peacocks sometimes. We had a turkey once. We had pigs as well. It was a wonderful way to grow up. I played basketball and volleyball in high school. In high school, I found that history was my favorite subject. I was on student body council in high school and enjoyed student government. And then I was a cheerleader in college. Education and experience. I went to a small private college in Greenville, South Carolina. It was called Bob Jones University, and I graduated with a degree in social studies. I taught middle school history in a private school for 1 year, and then I taught middle school world history and high school arts and humanities in an inner city setting for 6 years. I coached the girls' high school varsity basketball team for several years as well. I have 3 sons. They are the joy of my life, and they love history just like their mom. So I added some pictures that are more recent. I had the first 3 pictures, and that's been a while because the middle son is now taller than the oldest son. So I just put some things that we enjoy doing there. And that's our dog, Darcy. We just got her. We are all history nerds. We went to Washington, D.C. 2 years ago and had the most wonderful time. And we love history. And those are my 3 sons being goofy. My interest in hobbies. I love growing roses. I have 100 roses around my house. My grandmother grew roses, and I love to buy the cheap roses at the different stores and bring them back to life. And I love gardening roses. I love to golf. I love Star Wars. I like to ski. We all love Star Wars. We love to go to the Renaissance Festival, sledding, running, art, painting, and we love holidays. I'm a big sports fan. I love the Bengals. I'm a diehard Bengals fan. If you have anything bad to say about them, I will not hear it. And I love the Reds, even though we do need winning seasons in both sports, but I really, really love Cincinnati sports. I decided to go to graduate school nearly 20 years after I graduated from college. And I went to the University of Cincinnati and was given the opportunity for a full scholarship as a teaching assistant. I decided to get my master's in history and not in education. And I wanted to challenge myself, and it was very challenging. History is very challenging. So I received my master's in history in 2015. I graduated with a master's in history. I was able to teach on the campus of UC as a teaching assistant when I was getting my master's. And I presented my master's thesis at our annual history conference, the Queen City Colloquial. My areas of concentration, they are gender, art, and religion. My master's thesis was on the most famous female artist of Cincinnati. Her name was Elizabeth Nurse. She lived from 1860 to 1939, and she moved to Paris at the age of 28. She remained in Paris with her sister during World War I and received a medal from the French government because she saved so many Belgian refugees, and there were thousands. You may notice if you ever visit downtown Cincinnati that her self-portrait, which is the top left picture, is actually on a building downtown Cincinnati. My teaching style. I prefer a hands-on approach to teaching. My background and experience is in the inner city. I believe it really helped me with these skills to be a better instructor. I try to incorporate primary resources in every class. Reading the firsthand accounts of history allows students to receive a hands-on feel and really bring it to life. I try to teach towards a diverse learning style by doing different forms, artwork, film clips, recordings, music, and speeches from many different eras. The most important part of this course is learning how to write a research paper with strong evidence and clear, concise thesis. Students are encouraged to tie their topics to their own interests and career choices. It's done step by step, and there's plenty of feedback along the way. And lastly, ask questions. Questions are encouraged. There are truly no stupid questions.